Hello and welcome to the Macon-Bibb Beat. It's your one-stop shop for all your Macon-Bibb County news. I'm Frank Malloy. Each week we take you through what's happening in your neighborhood, North Macon, South Bibb, and everywhere in between, including here on the east side. Well, it's out with the old and in with the new. Bibb County leaders getting closer to bringing a new arena to life. Commissioners recently approved hiring Barton Mallow Builders to put the project together. The company is expected to break ground next summer. Olivia Dunn caught up with Macon-Bibb Mayor Lester Miller, who says the whole county will benefit from this new arena.
Mayor Lester Miller says a new arena is not a want, but a need. Hiring a construction firm, he says, is another step in the right direction to make sure Macon-Bibb doesn't fall behind.
It's going to be something for everybody in our community. It's going to be something that everybody can be proud of.
Macon-Bibb is one step closer to a brand new arena. On Tuesday, Bibb leaders approved $675,000 of SPLOST funding for pre-construction services.
Basically, over the next several months, we'll get some architectural drawings. We'll get some rough figures sometime around January, and by the springtime, we'll have the final numbers to bring before Commission to vote on.
In September, Commission also unanimously approved PBK Architects to help design and plan the new arena, which will replace the Macon Coliseum with a nearly 200,000 square foot space. Miller stressed again the need to replace the Coliseum to drive tourists to the city and to keep up with competitors.
We have to stay ahead of the game, and by game I mean the competition amongst all the other places in Georgia that people have an opportunity to go to. Savannah has a new arena, Augusta has one, Athens has one. Macon-Bibb County has to stay competitive.
Those tourism dollars, Miller says, will directly benefit citizens through services, better schools, jobs, and lower taxes.
So every dollar that's spent there is a dollar our community gets to have. Our penny sales tax rolls our millage rate back, and we've been able to reduce our millage rate by 50% already. So projects like these, getting money from the outside through tourism, help provide good, valuable services to our community.
The new arena is projected to be complete in summer 2028. Reporting in Macon, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
4 men accused of firing shots at a North Macon shopping center face weapons and drug charges after appearing in court recently. Olivia Dunn was inside the courtroom when those charges were read. She also talked with several shoppers in the area near where the men were arrested. They told her they're still nervous and anxious.
Although we know the charges for those 4 men, their alleged motive and target is still unclear. Meanwhile, one shopper at that Kroger Wednesday told me he's still on edge and even considering changing grocery stores.
I was just glad I wasn't up here.
For over 20 years, Paul Varner and his family have shopped at the Kroger on Tom Hill Senior Boulevard. It was evacuated Monday after shots rang out in the parking lot of the shops at North Park. 2 of the alleged shooters were detained near the grocery store. Varner says he heard about it all that night.
It didn't make any sense to me when somebody coming up in the middle of the day and doing all the shooting out in a wide open parking lot.
Today at the Bibb County Jail, the alleged shooters, 21-year-old Justin Epps and 18-year-olds Aubrey Blash, Elijah Johnson, and Tyrese Haslam appeared before a judge. We still don't know what the men were shooting at or why.
At such a young age, destroying your whole life for what? For something so stupid.
Judge Valencia Davis-Jones handed down several new charges. Blash received an additional charge for unlawful use of a machine gun, sawed-off gun, or unsafe firearm, plus unlawful possession of a firearm, among other charges. Johnson and Haslam received additional counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and all 4 men received drug charges.
And y'all could find nothing better to do.
Judge Davis-Jones made several comments to the men as they appeared one at a time, including to Aubrey Blash about the Bibb County Jail, as she denied his bond.
That jail is more dangerous than the streets. And I surely regret that you are up in this jail.
Jail operations have come under scrutiny recently. Georgia's U.S. senators called out poor conditions, violence, and civil rights concerns. Bibb County commissioners hired an architect for a jail expansion project, which will include maximum security housing and mental health upgrades. Meanwhile, Varner says the shooting has him considering making changes to his routine.
If something else happens, then I suspect we'll close down coming up here.
The Bibb Sheriff's Office did not comment further on the case today. Reporting in Macon, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
And again, as Olivia said, Judge Jones denied bond for all 4 suspects. November 20th marked International Transgender Day of Remembrance. It's an annual observance honoring transgender people who have died from acts of violence. In Macon, one organization gathered on that day to celebrate the life and legacy of those lost this year. They also honored the memory of a 23-year-old Macon woman killed in 2022. Olivia Dunn talked with Tanisha Higgins, who remembers her daughter Destin as the life of the party.
Tanisha Higgins says her daughter Destin was fun, full of life, and proudly herself. She says November 20th is a time for her to remember that and celebrate her life and legacy.
I'm just glad I was able to let her be Destin.
Destin Howard loves shoes and shopping. Her mother, Tanisha Higgins, says she even rocked a pantsuit at prom. But most importantly, Higgins says Destin was herself.
She embraced who she was. And nobody's opinion on who she was mattered. She was Destin. Take it or leave it. I'm Destin.
But Destin's life was cut short in 2022 when she was shot and killed in Macon. Jaleel Parker was arrested in connection to Destin's death, but has not gone to trial. We reported in August 2023, Destin's roommates told investigators Parker paid money to Howard to keep their relationship secret. Although she's gone, Higgins says she continues to serve as Destin's voice and that her memory will never be forgotten.
We may be gone, but we'll never be forgotten. We will never be forgotten.
On Thursday, Higgins joined the Navigating Omitted Minds Over Time, or NOMO's, Trans Day of Remembrance celebration. NOMO's executive director, Zaria Newbill, says Destin's death was personal to her and the community. She wants the celebration to serve as a memorial to her and to remind Middle Georgia of the transgender community's existence and purpose.
And Destin had purpose because we all have purpose. And it hurts that her purpose was taken away extremely early.
Through music, dancing, artwork, and tears, Higgins celebrated Destin's life and shared her simple wish.
I do. I want them to be accepted for who they is. And for people, the main thing, I just want people to understand that their life matters. Their life matters. Their life matters. It really does.
Higgins says she plans to continue being Destin's voice for as long as she can. Reporting in Macon, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
The No More organization works to empower trans women of color in Central Georgia. If you want to learn more about NOMO and take part in upcoming events, you can contact them through their website, nomoorganization.org. Lawmakers and financial experts talking about possibly extending the length of home mortgages to 50 years, the latest idea from national leaders in an effort to attract more home buyers.
We've seen like a real sharp reduction in first-time home buyers especially, and also a reduction in people's willingness to move.
To some, the 50-year option may not be the best idea because of the interest rates. Others, though, are interested because it would mean lower monthly payments. Maggie Fitzgerald talked with some folks about the proposal and how it could possibly shape Central Georgia's housing market.
With federal housing officials weighing a half-century mortgage option, experts agree that affordability remains the biggest challenge for home buyers in Central Georgia.
We're just going through a crazy time when it comes to housing. And I hate it because back in our day, my day, it was a lot easier than this.
The road to homeownership is getting steeper, and new data shows just how much harder it's become. The National Association of Realtors says first-time buyers now make up just 21% of the market, a record low. Financial advisor Sherry Goss says the issue goes beyond housing. Everything is more expensive, from education and insurance to cars and basic living costs.
A lot of kids are moving back in with their parents. It is a massive trend because they can't even afford the rent where they live. And I have clients that are going through this.
Meanwhile, the average first-time buyer is now 40 years old, the oldest in history. And while a 50-year mortgage payment could be a tool for some, real estate agent Luke Smith says it could cost home buyers far more in the long run.
We don't want to be house poor. We want the house to be a blessing, not a curse.
The White House says a longer loan term could help buyers get in the door, but experts warn it would dramatically increase how much they pay over time, especially with today's interest rates.
People are buying too much house. Interest rates are too high, and it's just eating up all your money out of your pocket.
Both Goss and Smith say the trade-off could put buyers at risk. The bottom line, they say, don't stretch yourself so thin that your dream home becomes a nightmare.
If you could find something that you could do a 30-year and it's affordable and you can still have money in the bank for emergencies, that would be my comfort zone.
If they can figure out a way to get the financial institutions to say, hey, 50-year mortgage, but hey, we're capping this thing at like 3% interest, 3.5% interest, great. But it makes no sense with today's current interest rates.
In Warner Robins, Maggie Fitzgerald, 13 WMAZ News.
Realtor.com says the average interest rate in Central Georgia right now is about 6.3%. That's for a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. Check this out. Macon is now on a national list of must-visit places in the month of March. Travel site Kayak says it's all thanks to a pink explosion that helps put the city on the map. Every March, Macon transforms into what the site calls a pink cotton spun paradise. With more than 350,000 cherry blossom trees in bloom, the city becomes center stage for the International Cherry Blossom Festival. The article also highlights the city's deep Native American roots at the Okmulgee Mounds National Historic Park.
It's a high honor and maybe one of the highest honors I'll receive in my life.
A Macon judge honored at the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. Georgia Court of Appeals Judge Stephen Dillard from Macon receiving the William Rehnquist Award for his work increasing efficiency and access at the Court of Appeals. Now, the judge lives in Macon and has served on the appeals court for 15 years. He was appointed by then Governor Sonny Perdue. He says he always tries to remember he's a public servant for Georgians while still following the law where it leads.
But I want anyone, any citizen to pick up one of my opinions. And even if they don't understand everything, they can read it and say, okay, I know what's going on here. You know, I want to write my opinions for the people that I serve.
Each year, the Rehnquist Award is handed out to only one state court judge in the entire country. Judge Dillard says he's the second Georgian to ever receive the award. A November favorite made its return to Macon. The annual Skydog Music Festival brought hundreds of folks together at Carroll and Creighton Park to honor the life and legacy of Dwayne Allman. There were bands there. Some folks even broke out their best moves to the music. The crowd also broke records. The festival benefits Macon's Daybreak Resource Center. They collected more than $27,000 worth of essential items, their biggest haul yet. Sister Deborah Mello says every donation makes a real difference for the homeless community they serve day in and day out.
Any event like this where the community comes out and helps us, that helps to reduce our costs. It's just an awesome turnout. It's a beautiful day, and Maconites have come out again to support their community and their brothers and sisters living on the street. We're just thrilled.
Sister Mallett says Daybreak's next big event is the annual Sleep Out fundraiser, February 26th. She says they're looking for volunteers and community sponsors to be a part of that event. You can visit MaconSleepOut.com for additional details. When times get tough, Central Georgia's faith community always step up. This year, with inflation and government shutdowns leaving many families struggling, two religious groups prove that compassion knows no boundaries. Hunter King shows us how a Hindu temple and a Baptist church are united by one single mission: to make sure no one goes hungry this holiday season.
Inside the Umia Mataji Temple in West Macon, boxes are filled with donated food. For 17-year-old Mira Panchal, this is about more than just canned goods.
It's such a big honor for me to be able to be a part of this, be a help to the people, be a help to the area that raised me.
In Hinduism, giving food is considered one of the most sacred acts. The temple has collected 4,000 pounds for the Middle Georgia Community Food Bank. Their timing is purposeful. October marked Diwali, the Festival of Lights, and now November marks Thanksgiving.
Where we reflect on how light triumphs darkness, how knowledge triumphs ignorance, and how hope triumphs despair.
Across town at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor Leon Ward is preparing for their 40th year of holiday outreach. On Thanksgiving morning, when Meals on Wheels is closed, his congregation delivers hot plates to those who would otherwise go without. His compassion, he says, started with his mother.
She would even cook cornbread and take it to families. I guess I had that pattern to follow.
Two faiths, different traditions, but Pastor Ward sees the same calling.
What God will do is give you just enough faith to match the need.
At the temple, Vice President Umang Patel puts it another way.
We treat each and every person as a family member. So we don't differentiate between the race or religion. We just want to serve the people.
This year, both the temple and New Birth Baptist plans to join us for Stuff the Truck. Proof that when it comes to feeding the hungry, faith doesn't divide, it multiplies. In Macon, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
Middle Georgia Community Food Bank says food insecurity has increased over 20% this year, making donations more critical than ever. All right, well, of course, we had our big Stuff the Truck event, and Hunter King was among those on hand helping out and also capturing some of the activity as we did our part to try and make sure everyone has something to eat this holiday season.
All right, I appreciate it. You have a good day.
The final day of Stuff the Truck brought out the best in Central Georgia. Volunteers greeted shoppers at the Warner Robins and Macon Walmarts. Before lunchtime, Macon had already filled 2 trucks. Johnny Chatfield retired last year. He donated $100 this morning in Warner Robins.
They told me how much just $1 would make a big difference, just $1. And I figure some people can give 1, and I was glad to give 100.
Folks told me the recent government shutdown motivated them to give. Federal workers at Robins Air Force Base faced furloughs. The community saw how quickly people can need help.
Well, it means a lot. It means a lot with the way things are now. Pressure with the government being shut down and just opening back up.
Wendy Jackson traveled from Dublin to volunteer. She handed flyers to shoppers at the Macon Walmart, and some people hadn't planned on donating, but they changed their minds after seeing the list.
We even saw the children stopping to give, so that was really good to see the younger generation pretty much tots trying to give back to help others.
Drew and Julia Durr came to shop for the truck. They're just happy to be fortunate enough to give.
And it's not just fulfilling to the people in the community, but it also feels good to us. It feels good to give back.
Unemployment sits at a 4-year high, and families across Central Georgia are struggling to put food on the table. Angeline Doe works for Atrium Health Navison.
The Middle Georgia Community Food Bank cannot do this alone. It needs a lot of partners.
That's a wrap on Stuff the Truck 2025. Until next year, reporting in Macon, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
The Middle Georgia Community Food Bank, as you heard, says $1 provides 6 meals. Atrium Health Navison in Macon matching donations up to $25,000. On the lunch menu recently at Macon's John R. Lewis Elementary, pizza and a very special surprise. It's one 2 boys have been waiting for since January and won't soon forget. Ellie Milliken shares our story that comes straight from the heart.
Can you smile for me? Students are lining up to get their lunch, and it happens to be pizza day at John R. Lewis Elementary School. The Rocker boys get to sit beside each other, which they normally don't do. But then they start to wonder, why are there a lot of unfamiliar faces at school? Josiah Rocker just keeps eating and hanging with his friends until clap, clap. Jackson and his brother Josiah see their mom for the first time since January. Mom Shantira Rocker is in the Army, and she's been deployed in Poland for over 10 months. But on Friday, she came home.
Every day, every single day. I couldn't wait to just touch them, hug them. I can't even let them go right now. I miss my babies.
Rocker is an E5 sergeant and a petroleum supply specialist. She's in charge of filling up trucks and Black Hawk helicopters. Rocker says she joined ROTC in high school and later joined the Army.
And then when I got older, it just was more apparent, like that's the structure I needed. So it was more about structure. And then for the country, it was just an obligation, you know? I felt like, my mama was working, they took care of me, so why not return it?
Now, she plans to spend her time with her boys going to the mall, the trampoline park, and Amerson Park. The boys, they just want to go home. What are you excited to do with your mom?
He said, go home. You're ready to go home.
And home they go with the mom they've been waiting for. In Macon, Ellie Milliken, 13 WMAZ News.
Yeah, Shantaria will be in town until she goes back to Poland at the beginning of December, but she told Ellie she'll be back home again for Christmas. Serving in the Navy took Michael Golick and his wife around the world. Now the 2 veterans have a place to call home right here in Macon. Ellie Milliken was with the couple as they saw their new home, and it comes mortgage-free. Another story that comes straight from the heart.
Not all heroes get a motorcade, but then Michael Golick doesn't think he's a hero.
To the republic for which it stands.
Golick and his wife Betta are both Navy veterans. Michael served for 10 years, including time in Iraq where he was injured in combat and was in charge of watching detainees. Once he got out, he says, times got tough until he met Betta. He calls her his hero, and now they have a 12-year-old son. So Golick started fighting to get them a place to call home.
What your military career was, you're obviously a humble man as well. So.
Yes, I do it for everybody so they could
have a life, and I do it for my son.
But on Thursday morning, he got his trophy.
Oh, God.
The proud moment of a husband, giving his wife and son a new home 100% financed. The Bank of America and Military Warriors Support Foundation presented it to them.
This is gorgeous.
For Peter, his dad is his hero and his best friend. His service inspires him.
That means a lot. Because for knowing he's going out there and doing it really for me and stuff makes me feel good.
And after seeing he's got his son a home, he's feeling more like a hero.
And it honors me that you guys call me a hero, because really now I kind of believe that I'm starting to feel like a hero.
True heroes never give up, and Michael got his reward, finally able to rest and not have to fight anymore. In Macon, Ellie Milliken, 13 WMAZ News.
And Michael told Ellie he plans to apply for a job in corrections. They also plan to host sleepovers for Peter in their new home. The house has 4 beds and 1.5 bathrooms. The holiday shopping season is here. Stores gearing up for a big weekend. The National Retail Federation predicts nearly 187 million Americans will shop between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday, a record high. As Black Friday deals roll out, experts do warn, though, that if you're shopping online, you need to watch out for cyber scams and fake offers. Maggie Fitzgerald shares what you need to be on the lookout for.
Central Georgia shops are gearing up for their biggest weekend of the year and possibly record numbers.
That sounds amazing. I hope we get a small percentage of those big numbers.
Rumor Boutique is banking on big crowds as the store celebrates 20 years in business. Right now, they're offering 15 to 40% off clothing and accessories both in-store and online. And owner Ashley Johnson says the season is critical.
We do rely on the busy holiday season and people coming out to shop local and shop with us.
That's exciting for us. I mean, we think this is kind of our Super Bowl of the year.
Just down the road, Lazarus of Macon is offering 20 to 50% off in-store items this week. But Stuart Cashwell says international tariffs have made stocking some brands more expensive.
Tariffs are affecting prices. We've done our best to really try to be slow to increase prices, even though maybe our costs are going up.
But as millions turn to online deals, especially ahead of Cyber Monday, experts say scammers are busier than ever.
Not everything we see online is real or legitimate. Matter of fact, our number one scam in this area is bogus websites or fake online purchases. So we have to really do our research.
Jason Blankenship with the Better Business Bureau recommends verifying shops on their website, bbb.org, and taking extra precaution before checking out.
Probably your best bet is a credit card, so it builds in an extra level of dispute.
And Jason Blankenship also recommends shopping only through vendors you can verify, using resources like the Better Business Bureau or even a simple web search. A few other ways to stay safe. Jason says check for legitimate customer reviews and make sure the website has a U.S.-based return address. Well, the GIAA football season came to a close last weekend. The Stratford Eagles were one of the teams playing for a state championship, and they were able to knock off the Brookstone Cougars in the state championship matchup. This game was played last Saturday night, and it was at Five Star Stadium. And the Eagles' defense was strong all day long. Maddox Whitehead came through right here for the sack right there. Stratford's offense slow to get going, but they did get some work from Aaron Jefferson, who broke up this nice run and then streaked down the sidelines, tripped up just inside the 5-yard line. A few plays later, the Eagles knocking on the door. Jalon Smith will power his way in for the first touchdown of the night. The PAT was no good, and the Eagles led 6-0. Brookstone came back, though. Jason Kelly with his touchdown catch. The extra point was good, and Brookstone had a 7-6 lead. But the Stratford special teams came up big. Morris Butler blocked the punt. Brady Flournoy recovered it deep in Brookstone territory, and that would set up a Jefferson touchdown, powering his way in. That put the Eagles up 12-7. They converted the 2-point conversion on this run right here. That made it 14-7. And Stratford hung on to win their first state championship since 2004. One man who was pretty excited was head coach Paul Carroll.
Unreal, I mean, it's emotional. I'm ready to go celebrate with my family, ready to celebrate with the players and the coaches, and then I'm going to celebrate all night long, and to be honest with you, Monday's time to go back to work.
The Eagles, one of 3 Central Georgia teams to capture GIAA state championships, joining the John Millens Trojans and the Brentwood War Eagles. Well, that is the final note in this week's edition of the Macon-Bibb Beat. If you have a Macon-Bibb County story you want us to share, email us at news@13wmaz.com. Make sure you come back each and every Wednesday to get the news and stories that matter most to you. Thanks for watching this week's edition of the Macon-Bibb.